Good morning, everybody. It's May 21, almost 9 o'clock in the morning, and been a couple days since I've been out here. We had a little bit of rain, and I met with Roger one day, so on the rainy day. I'm just letting the rain settle, like get less mud and a little easier to work in, so did a few things at home, whatever. So today we are going to be setting J-bolts in here at the top. Remember, I have a pile of cement here that I bought, 8 bags worth. Hopefully it's enough. So yeah, that's the plan. It's going to be a hot day. I think it's going to be 83, 84 and humid, and this week is going to be rough. This week is looking pretty rough. But we're going to do what we can. It's like either we're dealing with rain and can't work, or it gets miserably hot and humid. So hot and humid, I guess we can get stuff done. All right, let's get to it. All right, we have some more good news. It did not rain like, super hard and a lot, but we did get some puddles still around here on this last rain. Remember last time I dug this, I put a levee here to catch the water, but it traveled down here and then stopped. And it looks like we don't have too much of a washout here. And this dirt that I filled in and rock, it did not wash out this time. So that makes me happy. At least that's a solution for that for right now. Temporary solution. Looks good. All right, guys. I am getting close to getting ready to put these in. So something to keep in mind. When you're ready to lay these out, there's some rules. And these are the rules. So you got to be 3 inches above the surface, 12 inches from the end of each board. And then the spacing between each bolt has to be less than 6 feet. 6 feet or less. So I started out thinking, okay, I'm going to put, since it's from the end and it has to be within a foot, when you get out past this, these are 18 inches, so it's got to go on the second core, right? So I was like, okay, this one. Then after I went around and kind of marked out what I thought I was going to do, then I remembered, oh, there's going to be a board that goes across here, and then another board's going to start here, or you could go all the way to here and then start here. So then your core would have to be here, 12 inches from this end. So you have to think about that. And then this is 40 by 16. So unfortunately at a 16, and you have to do every 16 feet, within every 6 feet, you end up having to put them really close. It doesn't come out nice and neat, which is too bad. So I'm going to have to do extras. I'm not sure if I even bought enough J-bolts. I might have to go buy some more. Okay, yeah, it's 10 down each side and 4 on the ends. So that's 28, and I believe Roger told me to buy 24. So I'm going to have to go buy 4 more. Which means that turns us into 2 jobs, unfortunately. All right, let's get to work and try this out, see how that goes. I took one bolt, measured it. It's supposed to be at 3 inches, so there's 3 inches from the end. So we'll stick these in like this. This has to be at the top. I may go through and mark all these before I start. All right, the numbers are a little bit different because this break is in the end. My walkway to go into my crawl space. Remember, I have to have within 12 inches, so I have to put one in this core here for this corner, which means my other one's going to come up to here, my wood. But I have to have something within 12 inches, so I have to make this piece go across here, and you have to have a minimum of 2 bolts per piece of wood. So, and I have to have from 12 inches from this end. So I'm going to put here and here, so that makes an extra one on this end. So that's 5 bolts on this end, 1, 2, 3, 4 on that end, 10 down each side. So the numbers are it's hard to work with the numbers, but it is what it is. All right, get back to work. All right, I'm going to mark every one of these at like 2.5 to 3 inches is good, is what Roger told me. So I'm marking it at 3, and that way I know just don't go above that. All right, guys, I have started and got a system so that I can kind of show you what I got going on here. All right, so one of the tricks of the trade, the way I understand it, is how I've been instructed to do it. So don't yell at me if I'm wrong. Is you fill the cores with some kind of material so that you don't have to fill the whole core of concrete. That's very expensive. And I looked at a couple of YouTube videos, not very many. And I know that a lot of people don't fill all these either. They just fill the core that needs the bolt. But there's some people who fill every one. And those people have more money than I do. I don't know if they do now after their project, but anyway, that's just too much. All we're wanting to do is create a connection between the seal plate and this block wall that is, not going anywhere. So I'll show you my system. This is what I've got going. This is just a tad on the wet side, I believe. I don't know. This is, you want to find something that's just on the thick side, slightly on the thick side, in my opinion. That's what's working for me. And so it doesn't take too long to set up, and isn't going to just all dribble drain down the core either. So we'll show you what we got going on here. Yeah, so the bucket that I was using to add water on the mortar, I still using that a little bit, but I adopted it to dump my concrete. It handles more at a time. Yeah, it's, I guess, about 2.5 buckets worth. I don't know, something like that. So I hit that. Get my trowel here and smooth it out. Then just, there's my mark. I'm going to try to get in the center as much as possible. I've been told doesn't have to be perfect, but there's my mark. It's just below the top there. A tiny bit more here, a little bit sunk in there. This part, I don't know how perfect it's got to be. I've been left unsupervised and uninstructed. Oops, got a little bit of... All right, and on to the next one. My next one. Got my mark here. I'm doing my best to get them in the middle because I don't want it to be too hard when I'm attaching everything. Okay, then the next thing I do is I've let 4 or 5, I do 4 or 5, I do a wheelbarrow load or close to a bag full of cement, concrete. And then I go back, I take my little level, I try to make them as level as possible. I know they're not going to be perfect, but I just don't want them real obviously slanted. I want them straight up and down as much as possible. There we go. And that's that. So these are all fairly set up, and I think I can see some of them kind of settle and sink, so I'll go back and put a little bit more concrete than the ones that have settled a little bit. Alright, Valia and Nia just got here and brought me lunch. And luckily the timing was like really good. I ran out of anchor bolts and they brought me 4. I needed 3. I ordered 4, 1 for backup. And we're done. All the way around. That worked out pretty good. If this turns out to be right and that I didn't mess it up, this is probably one of the easier jobs that I've done. Not bad at all. All right, guys, almost 3 o'clock, and I'm out of here. Niana and Valia are staying to lay out in the sun, but I have to head to a store to get some sandpaper and stuff for a project tomorrow. But it was so awesome to be able to start and finish a single project today with those anchor bolts. That was fantastic. So anyway, it was it's 84 and humid, hot. It's gonna be, I think, hotter tomorrow. So I will see you guys. I should be back out here tomorrow, and I'm hopefully recruiting Diego's gonna come out and help me do a project. So we'll see you when I get back out here.